Hey, it's Kristie with McKinley Coaching, and this post is on the Sacral Chakra. And the Sacral Chakra is on creative power, partnerships, desires, just feeling passionate about your business and patience. And a couple of things that tend to happen when your sacral chakra is out of balance, you don't feel confident in yourself, so you tend to not trust yourself. And then that causes you to become over dependent on the approval of others. So you really kind of, and then also a feeling of shame and guilt, just because I know for me personally, when I changed schools and I became the new person and I dressed different and I sounded different, that made me a target for bullying. And so I struggled with what was okay in this new world that I was in so that I could feel protected. And it really just kind of goes into a fight or flight at that point. And unfortunately, a lot of our young people don't survive that when they're bullied. And fortunately now the awareness is raised to where lots of people, people now are more mindful of just, reaching out and being available for young people, for which I'm grateful. Because when I was in like 7th and 8th grade was like really, really hard. So, kind of one of the things you want to identify if you're feeling shame or guilt is kind of like where that originates. For me, it was, changing schools, kind of questioning my reality pretty much, what was okay and what was not okay. Just realizing a lot of feelings that I were having was okay to feel. Now I realize that, then I didn't. And there's a lot of other things I've just kind of journaled about and things that have kind of come to me in like just meditation or, in talking to a therapist, which was extremely helpful, especially after I became a level 2 Reiki practitioner, because a level 2 Reiki practitioner in my tradition focuses on the emotions and addiction. So that actually was really the most profound of anything else, just because I was dealing with the bullying and because my self-esteem was so tanked. I did really engage in a lot of codependent relationships and addiction. And even as I grow older, even now, years later after being off drugs, I still realize when I wasn't on like drugs, I was like addicted to other things like popcorn and knowledge. I had to know everything because I figured if I knew everything, that would keep me safe. So just realized a lot of really interesting byproducts of healing from sacral chakra imbalance. Another thing was just paying attention to the stories I was telling myself versus is that the story I was telling myself versus the story that was actually like the truth of what was going on. And when you don't feel good about yourself, you can write a really bad story about yourself. And I don't think I have to like convince anybody of that. When you feel really bad about yourself and if you don't trust yourself or have any kind of patience for your journey, you can write a really horrible story for yourself. Or you can reach out and seek like healing or therapy, just so you can get someone outside of you and your story to say, I hear your story, but I want you to know that that's not the story that I'm seeing. And and then they tell back to you what they are seeing. And you can take whatever they say, but hopefully if they love and trust you as much as you love and trust them, it'll probably hurt and sting a little, but it's something I think you just kind of need. So that's I think that's it for now. Just if you're struggling with like your self-esteem and just being impatient and you feel like you're just really just you're maybe asking too much of others when deep down you have the answers for yourself, just be thinking about like what's up with that. Do some journaling, just sit in quiet meditation, or, if just like, where's this coming from? And just, maybe ask somebody. Like one time I asked my mom when I was addicted to the popcorn, I was talking to my mom about that. And she's like, oh yeah, I used to like make that all the time for you and your sister when you were little. And for me, I realized that's where that came from, because that was nostalgic and it was really comforting, because it was a time when I was younger and everything was cool and awesome and perfect, perfect in my world. So it's good to be able to reach outside yourself when you're able to, when you feel comfortable enough to do that. And I wish you all the best in the world. If you have any questions or anything, or want to just kind of talk, I'm offering a free self care strategy call, and we will just we'll just start talking and just figure it out. So all the best to you. Namaste, and have a great evening.